What I know about the toilet paper issue is that housing, for some reason, is not supplying toilet paper to a few dorms.
Like the expenses for other things instead.
So I know that it's actually very difficult for many of the students that live in the dorms to obtain toilet paper, and it's actually really problematic because most of them don't have jobs or really just can't afford it.
State. I live in College Creek on campus. I was Vice President of Legislation for the Resident Housing Association. So it's a paid position. That's my official title. I run a committee that's supposed to write what we call resolutions, and it's sort of this. And during that meetings, when I found out about it, they're like, "Oh well, what are we gonna do about toilet paper?" And I said, "What about toilet paper?" And it was maybe the second or third week. I didn't realize that they weren't doing it anymore. And so they said, I'm really pissed because it's causing problems over in Cyprus, where it's 12 people on one side sharing 3 bathrooms. What I started to do was ask questions to people in housing. And so I asked an advisor, our advisor, so he was an RLC, he resigned.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm actually not sure.
That's 7,000.
So I guess times 10 is 50. So yeah.
Speech. Okay, so I just kept asking other people, okay, so is it the money? Okay, if it's the money, tell me how much it is, because RHA has a budget. We have a $60,000 budget that we collect from students. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we can buy it, or I don't know, maybe I got a number saying, oh, it's actually not about the cost. The cost is only about $25,000 to $30,000 a year, which in their budget, housing's budget is in the millions. So this is really, if there's something that I think should change, and the rest of the council thinks so too, we say, oh, we think blah, 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 this, and then because this, and then we think this should change, this just kind of thing, and then we vote on it, and it kind of carries a little bit of authority because it went through this process. So we called it the toilet paper resolution. And all this stuff, right? And so then I'm about to do that. But then I get told, I can't say who, but I get told to basically kill this. You know?
To get rid of it?
Yeah, so I run a smaller council, but then after that I would take that resolution, we put it onto the bigger council, which is all the areas and all the other satellite councils on, if you know, Queers and Allies and and Active Minds, the other residence hall councils. Then all of them would be in this big meeting, and I was going to bring it to them, and then we would vote on it, and then hopefully we'd get more attention that way, right? But so I was told by someone who I couldn't ignore, kill it, basically. Since I started pushing, now I started to get what I think were more real answers. So after that, they're like, okay, well, it really isn't about the money. And I'm like, yeah, I figured that. Even though, if you remember, that was the first answer they told me. It's actually about people getting really annoyed because people were calling at 1 a.m. in the morning, and it's not even the cost of the toilet paper, but it was costing them man hours, or so they said. You'd actually be surprised. A few days ago, with no explanation, the assistant director of I forget his official title. He's Steve McKenzie. This is the office where me and the other students work, and he had a massive box of toilet paper, and he's like, oh, hello, very polite, and he just dropped it there, and then left with no explanation. We have no clue, and I was just like, oh my god, now I'm getting scared, I was trying to send us a message. What's this? I was because there was no explanation. It was oh, how are you, it's a good day, it's nice weather out, and then he just drops this massive box of toilet paper, and I was looking at the other, and I was like, is this some sort of
In basic hygiene, I do believe that toilet paper is important to me.
It's extremely important. You literally can't live without it.